What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to TTP Sports. The Flyers fall to the Detroit Red Wings by a score of 6-3 and just bring on the very long road trip that this Flyers team has ahead of them because, it's going to be a little bit of a decent time when they're on the road. A couple of basically every game is a West Coast game after tonight against the Red Wings. You got St. Louis, you got Colorado, Nashville, Minnesota upcoming to finish up the road trip. So you're going to get some 9 o'clock games, some 8 o'clock games, like a 6 p.m. game on Sunday in Nashville. So you're going to be getting some, I guess, somewhat late night Flyers hockey here, if I guess some people even care about that. But eh, okay game, I guess. The score is a little skewed just because the final two goals were empty netters by the Red Wings. The Flyers, they found a way to get back into this game. They were down by 1 goal in the third, and for some reason, they just looked like they forgot they even or not even realized they had the empty net out there to allow a Detroit just to get the easy rush up there and score the empty net goal. But what are you going to do at this point? You're at the backstretch of the season. You're after the trade deadline. You traded away a bunch of pieces. You don't have Claude Giroux. You don't have Derek Brassard. You don't have Justin Braun anymore. And you're going into this game with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. At the end of the day, what were you going to expect? Because in this last stretch of the season, not that many games left. You're almost done March. You got to go through all of April, and then you're done the season. So, not many games left. I think it's like 15 to 20 games left or something like that for the Flyers. So, you're probably thinking to yourselves right now, they're probably not going to get that many wins going on until the end of the season. Really, at the end of the day, the most things I'm looking for is just certain consistency with certain players. You got the Owen Tippett line out there again with Morgan Frost. They were okay. They definitely didn't have as much as an impact as they did against the Islanders. But like I said, consistency is all that matters. I'm not going to harp on them after, 2 games or something like that. Not going to overreact of how great they were in the first game. Not going to overreact of how, I guess invisible they were in this game. Rasmus Ristolainen, that's another question. That's a really big question right there. Really big impact on the first 2 Detroit goals. But before we get into all of that stuff, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. The most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel looking for all your latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events. The place to be at, depending on the outcome, great or miserable, depending on the outcome. And if you're a current viewer of the channel, I'm grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So get yourself some opening day tickets, some spring training tickets for the Phillies. Definitely can't pass that up. It's going to be very exciting. Go see the Sixers at the Wells Fargo Center. James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey. Why not? If you want to put yourself through a Flyers game, go ahead. Also, when the Eagles come back, can't pass that up. Free $20 in your pocket. Use that for parking. Use that for concessions at the arena. Can't pass that up. So use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So Flyers are running 11 forwards, 7 defensemen in this game. You're down a center because after all the trades that you made with the Brassard and Giroux and everything there. So you're going to be flip-flopping some people. You're going to be flip-flopping the lines basically all day. You saw Joel Farabee at center at some point, and you see some other people move up. You saw Nick Sealer sometimes out there in the forward group. So it was going to be one of those type of games because I guess at this point the Flyers are awaiting, maybe some college free agents that they could possibly sign, or maybe some of their guys that are in college right now, their prospects that haven't signed entry levels yet, to sign those guys to entry level contracts and then eventually bring them up when their college season is done, because they have a lot of prospects in NCAA that I think they're in their own tournament as of right now. So I guess they're waiting for that to happen. I have no idea, but this is going to be a very long road trip. If it's going to be like this, very long. You're probably going to be losing a lot of these games, probably all of those games, especially with the teams that you're going to be playing against. So before we get into the upcoming schedule, let's get into the game real quickly. First period, Rasmus Ristolainen. And I'm not a guy to constantly harp on a player because, it gets old. It gets really old. But today's game, it kind of is more deserving because what is Rasmus Ristolainen doing on these first 2 goals, especially the first goal by Detroit by Joe Veleno? He's wrapping around the neck, just hovering the puck, possessing the puck the entire time. And then Rasmus Ristolainen, I have no idea what he's doing. Is he trying to board check? Is he trying to check someone? He just literally skates right into Carter Hart, and he prevents him from making the save at all. He prevents him from covering his other post. And Joe Veleno gets an easy goal with a wide open net because Rasmus Ristolainen is literally body blocking Carter Hart. What are you doing there, man? What are you doing? And on the second goal, board play on the left side behind Carter Hart, instant puck turnover, and it turns into a Jacob Vrana goal to make it 2-0 Detroit. So Rasmus Ristolainen is key on two of the first, his two really bad mistakes. The first one was probably even more bad than the second one. The second one I can live with because, yeah, that happens. But the first one, you can't be running into your own damn goaltender. You can't be doing that. You just can't. So it becomes a 2-0 Detroit lead. And it was really the Flyers, once again, one of those games where, epitome of the entire season and epitome of a while, they don't start on time. And it's one of those situations. So you go into the intermission, you're down 2-0, and then instantly in the second period, it is Lucas Raymond off of, once again, I believe this is another turnover by Rasmus Ristolainen in the neutral zone. So yeah, and it turns into a beautiful goal by Lucas Raymond to make it a 3-0 Detroit lead. I actually do believe this is not a Rasmus Ristolainen mistake. I believe that is on one of the next Detroit goals. I'll get into that in a little bit. And then the Flyers start to catch back a little bit. Right after this goal by Lucas Raymond, the Flyers force a turnover out there. The Joel Farabee line with Kevin Hayes and Oscar Lindblom. Actually, Joel Farabee was out there with like a couple of other people. So, like I said, they were mixed matching the lines basically the entire day. So, Joel Farabee was probably, I believe, the best Flyer out there on the night. He did record 2 points in this game. This time it's Joel Farabee out there with Kevin Hayes and Travis Konechny. They forced a turnover, basically turned it into a 3-on-0, and Kevin Hayes with a nice biscuit pass over the Joel Farabee buries it into the empty net, making it a 3-1 Detroit lead. And then not that long after, Konechny, once again, it's the line. You're seeing a lot of flip-flop lines. This time, Oscar Lindblom out there with Hayes and Konechny. Konechny throws a biscuit out there to Oscar Lindblom. Breakaway, puts it 5-0 past Nedeljkovic, and it becomes a 3-2 Detroit lead. So right there, Konechny gets 2 points. Hayes gets 2 points in this period. So suddenly, it's a 3-2 game. Joel Farabee eventually gets a breakaway in this period as well. Can't finish. The Flyers get a couple of chances as well, but then they go down the other way. Flyers get a really close chance on one side, and then a turnover by Rasmus Ristolainen in the neutral zone allows Detroit to go the other way, and it becomes a great pass from Dylan Larkin over the Jacob Vrana. One times the pass, Carter Hart becomes a 4-2 lead ball buster type of a goal late in the period, going into the intermission, and once again, another turnover by Rasmus Ristolainen. So you go into the third period. The Flyers, they look a little bit like the better team. They look like they're going for that push, trying to tie the game. They're getting their chances. Kevin Hayes get the breakaway in this period. The Flyers do get the only 2 power plays in this game. I believe one of them was in the first period, and the second one was in the third period, and basically what you expect on the Flyers power play. They don't score on it. So exactly, they really don't generate any chances. It kind of gave the other team momentum, and yada, yada, yada. Same old Flyers power play as we've seen the past couple of seasons. But the Flyers, they pounce in the offensive zone. The Joel Farabee out there once again doing some work, this time with Cam Atkinson and James Van Riemsdyk. They forecheck down low. Joel Farabee forces a turnover. Cam Atkinson coming up behind the net, finds JVR open in the slot, passes it right to him, and he one-tees it by Nedeljkovic, making it a 4-3 Detroit lead. Okay, the Flyers are making this thing interesting. Then they try to tie it. They try to pull the goaltender. The Flyers really didn't even look like they realized that the empty net is even out there because of the way they're playing. They're playing, not trying to, possess the puck and all of that. It looks like they're trying to play keep away. And it turns into an easy goal for Oscar Sundqvist. And then eventually the Flyers pull the goaltender again, and it becomes a goal for Tyler Bertuzzi. So the Flyers lose this game by a score of 6-3. And also during this game as well, a couple of fights between Givani Smith and Zack MacEwen. And Zack MacEwen destroys Givani Smith in both fights. One of those fights came in the second period right after a face-off tilt in the Flyers zone. Basically, Givani Smith had no chance to, do anything to Zack MacEwen during this instance in that first fight. And then the second fight came right at the end of the game after Detroit made it 6-3. And once again, it looked like Givani Smith was going to get the upper hand, but then Zack MacEwen basically got back up from his knee and just, threw a couple of rights in there and knocked him down to the ground to finish off the game there. So, good game for Zack MacEwen. So other stats in this game, 3 stars. Apparently, first star of this game goes to Mark Stahl. Second star goes to Jacob Verana, and third star goes to Joel Farabee of the Flyers. Shots on goal per period in this game. First period 8-7 in favor of Detroit. Second period 10-10 for both teams. And the third period, the Flyers outshot Detroit 16-13. So the Flyers, they were pouncing in that third period. They were definitely the better team, but they just could not find a way to do anything with the empty net. They just couldn't. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. Other stats in this game: Flyers lose faceoff percentage 51% to 49%, and that's something you're probably going to be noticing more as the season goes along, because you don't have Claude Giroux anymore, who's one of the best faceoff men in the league. You also don't have Sean Couturier, who is out the rest of the season. So yeah, the Flyers faceoff numbers are definitely going to be going down the rest of the season. Physical game, 26 hits to 21 in favor of Detroit. Flyers blocked 15 shots to Detroit's 9. And there was a couple of giveaways in this game. Basically, looking at this game, Konechny, Hayes, they both get 2 points. Joel Farabee gets 2 points. And looking at the Detroit stats, because I want to see why Mark Stahl is the player of the game. Maybe there was something accolade that was there or something like that. I have no idea why he was first star of the game, but what are you going to do? I'm not going to really look into it that much. So looking at the standings right now for the Philadelphia Flyers, just to see where they place in the Metro and the entire league. The Flyers are now in last place in the Metropolitan Division, 51 points with New Jersey Devils. The New Jersey Devils have more regulation wins than the Flyers, so that's probably why the Flyers are in last place with 51 points, 20, 32, and 11 on the season. And actually, an interesting stat that you probably don't want to hear: the Flyers have not won a game on the road since, I believe it was the game in Seattle where they won in overtime. That was their last win on the road in December, before the new year. The Flyers have not won a road game once in the year 2022. And that's how bad it's been. That's how really bad it's been. And looking at the entire league standings, the Flyers are the 5th worst team right now with 51 points. Teams that are below them: the Ottawa Senators with 49, Arizona Coyotes with 44, also Seattle and Montreal each have 44 points. So there are some teams that are creeping up to the Flyers. Can the Flyers fall to that final last place spot in the league? Who knows? If they lose more games with all the pieces that they traded away, it's possible. It's definitely very possible at this point. Oh boy, this Philadelphia Flyers team. And looking at the upcoming schedule, just to see, the tough teams that they are going to be playing against the rest of the month of March. So after this game against Detroit, they'll have 4 more games on the road, which is in St. Louis, Colorado, Nashville, and Minnesota. St. Louis and Colorado are a back-to-back on Thursday and Friday, Nashville on Sunday, and Minnesota on Tuesday. And just looking into their April schedule just to see what the Flyers have to finish off the season, they're going to have a good amount of home and road games to finish off the season. So you start April 2nd against Toronto at home, followed up by a back-to-back with the Rangers on that following Sunday night. Then you got a home-and-home series against the Blue Jackets on the 5th at home and on the 7th on the road. You're back home on the 9th of April against the Ducks at home, a 7:30 start on a Saturday. That's weird. And then you got a couple of days off. You got a back-to-back against the Capitals on the road, then the Rangers at home. And then you're off a couple of days, another back-to-back Saturday and Sunday. Buffalo on the road, Buffalo at home on a Sunday. So a home-and-home series between those two teams. And then you go to Canada for a little bit for these next 2 games. The 19th in Toronto, the 21st in Montreal. You're back home for another back-to-back, the 24th against Pittsburgh, and then on the 25th in Chicago against the Blackhawks. Then your final road game of the season will be the 27th against the Winnipeg Jets, and the final game of the season will be at home against the Ottawa Senators. So we're not that long until the end of the season. We got basically, after this, stretch of the week, you only got really, one more month left of the season. And just looking at the Flyers for how many games they have played so far this year, they definitely do not have that many left yet. They have, 19 games left to play this season. So not that many. Definitely not that many. It's probably going to go by quick. It's going to feel forever, but it's probably going to go by quick, especially if you're watching Sixers more and when you get ready for baseball opening day. So basically when baseball comes back and the Sixers are taking on, especially when they get into the playoffs, Flyers are going to really take a back seat. Really, really take a back seat. So it's going to go by quickly. It definitely is, and then you focus on the offseason, you focus on the draft and see what the hell they're gonna plan to do there. So, that's basically gonna be it for this one, boys. What are your thoughts on this game? What are your thoughts on basically everything Flyers? Leave those comments and opinions down in the comment section below. I like to hear those as always. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video. I would appreciate that as well. Don't forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. The links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer Pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that stuff is down in the description below. Do not forget to check those out. Also, speaking of BrodesMedia, Hunter Brody had Anthony Sanfilippo crossing broad on there earlier today. Talked a lot of interesting stuff about some Flyers talk, talk about Ryan Ellis, talk about Ivan Provorov, Quadru. Definitely go give that a check out because Anthony Sanfilippo gave a lot of interesting stuff. Definitely go and check that out right now. Also, like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you do is hit that sub button and also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I will see you next time.